Hi everyone, and welcome to On Rocky Ground. Cheers. Going back to January 2018, just wanted to give you an update of what really goes on in local government. So we're going through the recruitment process for a new CEO. Now, at that particular time, there was a committee. Now, that committee comprised 4 people. Now, because the recruitment of a CEO is one of the most fundamental things that a councillor can do, making sure we've got the right CEO to lead the operations of the city, everybody was interested, but there was only 4 committee members. Now, bearing in mind, it's the committee that goes through the process, but councillors, full council, have to vote that particular selection in. So we need to have a choice. So it's important for councillors to know who's been interviewed, who was in the running. So Councillor Matt Whitfield, he requested that councillors could observe the proceedings. Now, we're not part of the committee, but observing, we'll get to see some interviews, we'll get to see the paperwork. We also needed to see resumes. Bearing in mind, lots of councillors, some of the older ones may not, I don't know, but a lot of the younger councillors, certainly on the council I served, had quite a bit of experience actually recruiting people or interviewing people. Myself as a general manager, going back a few years, I had to do quite a bit of recruiting, so I know pros and cons to look for. So it was important to have this information. Matt Whitfield, he requested that councillors be allowed to be present at the committee meetings. It's a committee meeting. Now, bearing in mind, we've never had to ask permission before, or I haven't, certainly in my term. I was on the Community Development Committee, but if I wanted to turn up at the Planning Committee, I didn't need anybody's permission. I just turned up. It was acknowledged that I was there as a guest, and that was it. But when it came to the recruitment of the CEO, Matt had to ask for permission. So the mayor sought advice from the CEO, who allegedly, according to an email, sought advice from the lawyers, or the legal general counsel of the city of Rockingham, and it was deemed that it was basically down to the chair of that committee, which happened to be Samuels. And Samuels said it was a distraction to have other councillors in that meeting, and it was very important, so he didn't want any distractions, and therefore refused all other councillors to be part of the meetings or the committee meetings that were there to recruit the new CEO. Now, there's a couple of issues with that. It's okay going by the book and saying, oh, well, I'm the chair, I can do this and I can do that. Where's the moral point of view here? So just allowing councillors to be present so they can hear, so they can understand, see, put things into context, so they have, at the end of the day, they are the ones that have got to make the decision. However, they weren't allowed to. They were refused by Samuels. Only the committee, which comprised, I believe, of Samuels being the chair, Hamblin, Elliott and Stewart. So the rest of council, which is the majority of council, because there was 10 council, only 4 on the committee, the majority of council were actually left out of the loop. So when it came to the council meeting, the special council meeting to vote for the new CEO, there was only one person to vote for. There was no choice. We got Parker. He was presented. We were allowed one question each. And to be fair, being brutally honest here, 2 or 3 councillors, myself included, got 2 questions. So we listened to Parker give his bio, his brief, which was about, 20-25 minutes, all about him. And then we were allowed 1 or 2 questions each as council, and then we had to vote. So the councillors that weren't on the committee had no background other than a bio. Never met this guy before, other than standing there and giving a formal presentation for 15 to 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and asking, benefit of doubt, 2 questions each. Pretty poor, and we've had to vote on that. Now, the choice that we did have was either vote this guy in that basically Samuels, Hamblin, Elliott and Stewart had chosen, or delay the process and waste more of ratepayers' money going through the recruitment process again by hiring Lester Blaze, who I believe were the recruiters, and delaying the recruitment of the CEO, which was, what do you do? What do you do in that position? Do you choose somebody that you've been presented to right in front of you? There you go. That is the one that we've chosen. You've got to vote on it now, or we can go back and start again. That's the choice that we faced. Pretty pathetic, really. Whether we voted for him or not, Parker was given the job because the majority of council voted for him, and because of that, he's now the new CEO. But let's be clear about one thing. If you had a board of directors in a commercial world and you were seeking a new CEO, do you think half the board would be excluded from the process? No, they wouldn't. But we were. Before I voted, I made it quite clear to the mayor that I was disgusted with the process, and so did a few other councillors, that we were voting because we didn't have any other choice in front of us. We had one candidate to choose. That was it. Or go back to the drawing board and start the whole process again at the cost of ratepayer, and having to bear the fact that Samuels was in control with 3 other councillors for the whole process to start again. Absolutely pathetic. I didn't agree with the process whatsoever, and I've got to be absolutely honest here. Parker's a nice guy to talk to, nice sociable character, but not the CEO I would have chosen, for sure. I haven't seen anything since he was given the role to when I left as a councillor. He never put his mark on the city of Rockingham, but that's just my personal opinion. But I just wanted to get across to you people, that this is how controlling it is, or it can be, at council. There was no need for Samuels to do that. There was no need. What is wrong? As a reasonable person or a reasonable mayor would have said, yeah, come on, sit in. You can't say anything because we're legally bound by the rules of the committee. I get that. I understand that. But please, come on in. That will give you better information, better context for you to make a more informed decision. That wasn't the case. So we were literally, I'd never met Parker before. I knew nothing about him. It was a surprise to me. I turned up at the meeting and I was expected and asked to, and legally required to, vote. So just be aware that there's a lot of councillors, the majority of the council at the time never saw Parker until the night he turned up and said, there you go, this is the guy. He read his bio, we asked a couple of questions, and that was it. We were asked to vote. I don't rate Samuels at all. He's not a leader. He doesn't deal with situations particularly well at all. And he was wrong in what he did from a professional point of view and a moral point of view. He was wrong. But anyway, just thought I'd tell you that so you know what's going on in your city. And enjoy your evening. Take care.